Relocation is a significant investment of time, money, and resources from the company. What for? We at FxPro, not me, the next speaker, of course, it is a powerful growth point for the organization. Join us at Product Camp Cyprus for the presentation by Evgenia Shligova. Well, please welcome Evgenia, Employer Brand Manager at FxPro Group, as she delves into the topic of relocation as a growth point for companies. Don't miss out on this valuable presentation. We will see insights and reasons why relocation, am I correct, drives growth and employee satisfaction. The stage is yours. Thank you very much. Let me give you your microphone. This is mine.
I see. Okay, and I have this one. It works like?
I don't know, but yes, I guess back and forth. No?
No. How it works?
Can anyone help us with the remote? Let me just try.
Yes, please.
So, oh my God. Sorry. Full screen again. Yep. Yeah. Left and right. Left, yeah.
Hello, everyone. And first of all, I hope that every one of you already tasted our coffee, because we brought to you the best barista in Cyprus, like literally the best barista. He has this title. But now, moving from the coffee to the main point of my speech today. So I'm going to tell you about why we at FxPro believe that relocation is a huge growth point for the company. But before we start, let me check you as an audience, not to check, just to understand you better. Who are from you relocating people? I have some people who are either or in HR or line manager, yeah, and this one. And who are relocated people here? Wow, great. I hope your relocation process was smooth, but if not, please join us. We can share your pain, relocation. So, let's start with my presentation and just a few words about me. So basically, I'm Eugenia, as it's obvious from the slide, and I'm working for 15 years already. I've been working in digital marketing and project management until last year when I decided that I want to work with people more. And now here I am, employer brand manager at FxPro Group, with my passion to make people happier with their work. And a bit more about our company. FxPro Group is celebrating 17 years this year. And well, we have quite a successful history, and now we have more than 300 employees around among all our five offices worldwide. And yes, of course, international awards, a lot of clients, and so on. But let's go next to our offices. So you can see that we have a lot of offices, like 5 of them, in different countries. And of course, we are hiring and relocating people to these offices, but mostly, of course, to our headquarters in Cyprus, and especially about our IT segment, because we are all here on a product conference and speaking about product teams and so on. And I think a lot of you have noticed that Cyprus is quite an attractive point for relocation. 2021 to during the last 2 years, from 2021 to September 2022, you can see that number of applications submitted to Migration Department has doubled. Of course, it's both influence of a new government strategy to attract talents and coupled with some global situations that we have, but still, a lot of people are relocating to Cyprus, and finally we have this conference here in Cyprus. It also means a lot because we have a lot of companies here and a lot of new people. But relocation could cost a lot to the company. First of all, because it starts with numbers. It could start with 2.7K per person or 5K if you're speaking about family. But it's not only about money. Any relocation requires a lot of efforts, not only from the employee, but the company in general and HR team as well. It's time, it's emotional resources, it's a project management resources, and well, does it worth it? We believe that yes. When done right, it can be a powerful growth point for any company. Why so? Why so? Yeah, we have at least 3 reasons why. First of all, relocation improves work-life balance of any employee relocated, almost any. Secondly, it increases their anti-fragility. And the third, it increases their expertise development. Sounds pretty good. Let's start with work-life balance. Mostly, we all are relocated from the northern countries. Northern countries means that we have to fight for our survival. We take a lot of supplements, we're doing stupid sport for our stupid mental health, we face grayness everywhere, starting from gray sky, gray weather, gray mood, gray faces. And then imagine you move to Cyprus. We don't have data exactly about Cyprus, but still, based on research studies published regarding the Mediterranean region in general, we can see that first of all these climate features, warm temperature, sunlight, outdoor activities, everything helps us to get in the better mood. But also, other studies show us that slower pace of life and living in small towns and rural areas, it helps us to build a stronger feeling of community. And feeling of belonging to community is also improves your mental health. And last but not the least, Mediterranean diet. You know all these fruits, vegetables, omega-3, and of course wine. Again, it improves your health, mental health, and health overall a lot. But what next? Communication, collaboration, and cultural development. Does really relocation leads us to develop our communication skills and cultural diversity AF? I mean anti-fragility, not what you thought about. So have a look at this picture. For those of you who don't know this picture, just make a mental note. What do you see here? This is our version of the famous Michigan fish test. During this test, people were asked to describe what they saw on the picture. And those who was raised in American culture, they described basically the main things that they saw, these fish. Those who were raised in Japanese culture described the picture as a whole, like with all the details, all the seaweeds, all the bubbles, all the frogs, and so on. Why so? Because this test is roughly explain us the difference between different cultural approaches, difference between individual and collective approach to work, to collaboration, and so on. And basically, a lot of people, when they relocated to Cyprus or to any other countries, it's their first relocation. And living in their hometowns, home cities, and home countries, we basically used to have the same cultural context, the same history, the same jokes that we share without even thinking about it. But when you're moving to the different country, and when you're facing working with different people united by your company, you have to face the fact that there is a lot of different cultures, different approaches, and you have to adapt quickly to embrace it, to be ready to deal with different people based on their specific approaches to work, to communicate, and so on. And all of that, if done right, again, helps us to develop as quick as possible, to extend our communication and collaboration skills, and of course, to increase our ready to communicate and build strong working and personal relationship with people from different cultural backgrounds, from different countries, from different specifics. And I'm not even talking about the ripple effect, that because the more people are relocated, the more people know that people are different in general, the more borderless world we will have in the nearest future. And the third one, does relocation lead to career and personal expertise development? Again, we believe that yes. First of all, for example, from the Eastern European countries, university graduates also love to work for international companies, at least what they told us. And why so? Because they want to have more opportunities, to better career chances, prospects, and opportunity to grow new experience. Again, we are speaking about people who were transferred from their comfort zone to the new country, to the new company, working with different people, and also they have to face the different tools, different methodologies, different working approaches from their colleagues. All of that, if the person is ready to change and grow, helps again acquire quite fast new approaches and develop their personal expertise, professional expertise, and enrich in their experience. So basically, that sounds too good to be true. Like, we're taking people, relocating from his native country, and immediately, like in a miracle, he starts feeling better. He develops his anti-fragility in cultural diversity approach, and also he develops his expertise. Yes and no. Because to achieve so, you have to make it work. People cannot change overnight, and people, when they are relocating, they are in a huge stress. That's why we believe people at any relocation work. To make out of this relocation really, to make it work, to make out of this relocation really, to make it work, to make out of this relocation a really growth point for the company, you have to make it work, you have to approach it as a project. We in HR facing projects every time, every day, and relocation is a project as any other, but is a much bigger project. And this is a project where everything could and will go wrong. Because when you're working with people, there is no such thing as like everything goes according to plan. Never. And I believe we all can share our relocation stories about some fuck-ups that happened during the relocation. But anyway, when you are doing relocation, you have to start with very first step, like making an offer, and then be sure that you are supporting your employee during the at least next 6 months, starting from purchasing tickets, help to find accommodation, arrange transportation to work, but then also helping them to deal with all this stuff that was so easy and natural for them in their home country, hometown, and so different here in Cyprus or any other country. It could be like medical appointments, of course visa arrangements, but also cultural approaches, cultural adaptation, and even dealing with different mentalities here at the office. So that's why we believe that company has to have certain people who will be dedicatedly support employees during this 6 months relocation period. That's the crucial thing to make relocation work and to make relocation a growth point for your company. And why it's worth it? Because it could increase loyalty, and probably it will increase loyalty. For example, here we have numbers by consulting agency, BGRS. They're helping companies with relocating or international assignments for their employees. And basically, we can see that from their respondents, those who had support from company during relocation or international assignments, all of them showed the increase in level of satisfaction, level of engagement with their work, and level of loyalty. But you do not need all these, like official numbers from some agency. All the good things like NPS survey, satisfaction survey, or even just talks and interviews with your employees will give you the clear picture if you're doing the relocation correctly, if everything is okay. But these numbers help us to show, without revealing our numbers, that relocation is really leads to increasing loyalty. Because, again, imagine you have people who were relocated from another country to the southern one with all this slow pace. Of course, slow pace could be sometimes painful, but still, slow pace, work-life balance, sun, wine. Then, different cultural approach, different mentalities around them that helps them to develop themselves and to adapt quickly and to grow personally and professionally. Expertise development, when they can face and experience new methodologies, new tools, and then meet in such conferences or meetups, because we have the small community here, and everyone wants to meet and chat with each other, and it also enrich their experience. Loyalty grows, and basically, when you have an employee that grows as a professional and also grows his loyalty, it will benefit not only the employee, but also to the company, and it will make a boost for the company. Of course, it's not like a certain thing, but this is a fundamental thing. Without this relocation approach, even the best corporate culture probably won't survive if relocation went wrong and people are not happy after they joined new country and new company. So basically, it's everything that we want to share. We believe that relocation really leads to company growth when you invest in it. And since you invested in people when you hired them, let's make sure that you invest enough so they will stay with you, they will grow with you, and it will lead to boost of your company and of your employees. Hire, relocate, and grow. And if you want to share your relocation stories and just to talk about relocation, we will invite you to FxPro Relocation Meetup in April. Join me on LinkedIn not to miss information and updates on it. Thank you, and I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, and thank you that you exist, because this is not just a presentation, it's about changing your life. So it's important relocating with or without family, and we're lucky to have you, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, questions. We have 5 minutes for questions. Anyone? Yep.
Oh, finally, thank you.
Yeah. We have the microphone. Lina is, yeah, okay.
If I want to relocate in another country because I am from Cyprus, there is an opportunity.
Well, I can say for sure that we're relocating people for Cyprus to the London office, for example. Come to our stand, to our area, grab some coffee, and we will discuss it.
Excellent.
Any more questions? Yes, please.
Yes, please. Microphone is coming.
Thank you very much. My name is Daria. My question is, what is your top 3 favorite problems of relocating people? Because I'm developing my product of sharing assistance for the people who are relocated. And sometimes they need to be physically in the place during the working hours. I think it is the most important, and it is difficult to do this with another person.
Well, I think, of course, my colleagues could elaborate a lot of favorite problems during relocation, but for me, I think the first one is there is not such thing as a common questions in relocation, especially in terms of all this paperwork, because every people is specific. We, for example, could relocate a family with 2 Dobermans, or, for example, people who didn't tell us, just forgot to tell us about their, criminal record in their past. And then we have to somehow deal with them imprisoned in Israel during their stopover. So difficult to say the top 3, but first of all is documents, and secondly is helping with adaptation during cultural adaptation here in Cyprus, and secondly it's families, because also we're relocating an employee, and of course they has a spouse, and not usually they have ability to work here in Cyprus. I mean, enough of expertise or their education good enough for working here, but we still have to support, at least morally, and create a good environment at work, so even with all these difficulties, people will feel themselves safe here in Cyprus.
Thank you. Any more questions? We still have some time. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Victor. We are IT community here, so IT much more global, and why do we actually need to move someone to other countries when we can hire someone from whatever country we need? So that's the question.
It's a good question, and basically we hire people on site, remotely, and some of them we are relocating. It's always based on requirements to certain position. And even if we hire people remotely, we usually arrange frequent business trips to our headquarters or to the office with, where people are more working with. Because I'm a huge fan of remote working. I'm a huge fan of dealing with everything via Zoom, Skype, Slack, whatever. But I had to admit, especially since I started working with HR, that sometimes face-to-face meetings, at least for 1 week or even 3 days, helps to boost understanding inside the team. So yeah, we don't need to relocate everyone, and we're happy with it because it requires a lot of money and a lot of paperwork, and Cyprus, I think, also has its limits in welcoming new people. But when you're relocating, you have to be sure that it's done right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Evgenia. Thank you very much.